back again with another character discussion video, and this is our final character discussion video for Class 1A, and it is Shoto Todoroki, the half and half hero, Shoto. I'm kind of disappointed though that Shoto ended up using his name as his hero name. I really wish he'd come up with a name that would be pretty cool, and all that. So let's just get, and if you guys don't know, I have half cold, half hot. So now that I can get on to that, his quirk is called half cold, half hot. Shoto's quirk gives him a dual pyrokinesis and cryokinesis, divided between his left and his right side. Obviously, you know, cameras are different. Cameras are facing, okay, whatever. So his left and his right side, or, you know, his left and his right side, respectively. The appendages on his right can drastically lower temperatures and anything they touch enough to create a large waves of ice. And the limbs in his left generate heat and allow Shoto to create and shoot streams of fire until taking to his own body limit. Neither has a visible effect on his body, so he's neither hot nor cold, nor scorched, nor frostbite, or whatever, but there's that. Now we can move on to his abilities. He actually has some significant abilities due to these quirks. He has enhanced durability, enhanced endurance, and enhanced agility. And lastly, keen intellect. Obviously we know that Shoto Todoroki had joined UA through recommendations, also because not only is his family, respectively known for being a famous pro-hero family, similar to Momo, but they both ended up getting in through recommendations. So there you have that. Next we can talk about his super moves, and well, only one is really shown, which I'm kind of mad about because I'm pretty sure he has shown some more abilities, but this is one shown as his super move. It is called a Giant Ice Wall. Shoto creates an enormous ice glacier that can neither It can't incapacitate or incapacitate or whatever his opponent, or block the immediate field of battle in ice. Pretty much we saw him use this a bunch of times, most notably Esports Fest. I will talk about that when we get to the Sports Fest area of battles. So here we are with the battles. He was in the battle trial arc with Meizo Soji. They were teamed up versus Ojiro and Hakagure, and well, they won that because Shoto froze everything. Soji did nothing. He did do something. He heard where they were, but then after that, Shoto froze everything. So there's that. And next we have the USJ, and it was Shoto versus the villains in I forgot what they said it here was, but he was it was in like a forest area, so he got teleported over there, and once he got teleported, he froze everything. So he froze everything immediately. So that was a cool scene there. Next, after that was All Might and the UA students versus the League of Villains. Like I said in Kirishima's video, Shoto, Deku, Bakugo, Kirishima, they were all there when All Might was fighting the Nomu, so then they were fighting the League of Villains that were still around, so there was that as well. Now we are on to the UA Sports Fest. Now obviously we have the obstacle race. He came second. Then we have the Cavalry battle where he was leader of Team Todoroki against Midoriya, and then all that. So there's that. He had two of my favorite characters. Well, technically everybody on Team Todoroki is my favorite character, but although Eda was pretty lower on my list, so sucks to suck for that, but whatever. Now we have the individual battles. So Shoto versus Zero, and that is when we saw the giant ice wall. He froze Zero and almost half of the arena as well. So there's that. Next is his fight against Deku, and that was when he unleashed his fire side and all that. So there's so that happened, and that was a cool moment. And then next he versed Eda, and he kind of wiped the floor with Eda. I just have to say that he kind of did. And then next was against Bakugo, and he lost. But that was only because he wanted to use his fire. Or no, he tried to use his fire because Bakugo wanted him to, but he didn't in the end because he was like, I just don't want to fight anymore. I just can't use my left side anymore. So that happened. Next is the Hero versus Hero Killer arc, and that was when it was Eda, Deku, and Shoto versus Stain. And that was an awesome fight to see them work, and actually it's like my intro as well. My intro has the versus Hero Killer arc, so there's that if you guys didn't know that. Next is the final exams arc when he was teamed up with Momo against Aizawa, and obviously I said this in Momo's video. They won that, and how they won it, and all the pictures and all that. So next is the Forest Training arc. This was when he was teamed up with Bakugo for the test of courage and all that in the forest. But then after that, the Vanguard Action Squad showed up, and then everybody got separated. So there was a little bit of this, a little bit of that happening. So there's a lot of stuff. And then they got attacked by Moonfish. So that is the part right there. They got attacked by Moonfish. And, well, they won that only because Tokoyami showed up with Deku and Shoji. Shoji and Deku lowered Tokoyami because he was out of control of Dark Shadow all the way to where Bakugo and Shoto were. And he pretty much destroyed Moonfish. Well, Dark Shadow did, at least. And then finally, we have the Provisional Hero License Exam. Shoto versus Seijin High. This was the group of ninjas that showed up in the anime, and, well, manga, obviously, as well. But recently in the anime, we got to see Seijin High, and we got to see that they're a group of ninjas that have weird quirks, and some of them are related to Ant-Man from Marvel, so there's that. That was kind of weird, but whatever. And I just realized I need his stats. I need his stats up, and I didn't grab those first. My bad. Alright, so here are Shoto's stats. He has a power of 5 out of 5, speed of 4 out of 5, technique out of 5 out of 5, intelligence at a 4 out of 5, and cooperativeness at a 3 out of 5. The only reason why his cooperativeness is a 3 out of 5 is because well, actually no, there's two reasons why. One is after Deku got him to use his fire side and said, it is your quirk, use it how you want to. So that is one reason. And then the second reason is because he can freeze everything. He can freeze anything and everything in his path. So he could end up hitting some of his teammates if he did that. So it makes sense. And intelligence and speed, well, he is pretty agile, especially since because one of his abilities is enhanced agility. His speed gets bumped up a little bit. And then intelligence, he is one of the top students in the class, one of the top smartest students in the class as well. So yeah, technique, I mean, do we really need to go through that? I mean, it's Shoto Todoroki. And same thing with power. Like, I don't really need to go anything. So, that was his stats. Now I can get on to the long-awaited relationships with classmates and other characters. So, for this one, it's a little bit long because not only is his classmate or whatever is One, two, three, four. There's four students that he's interacted with, and then there's a pro hero and a villain, and then his family. So there's that. And with his family, I only took a few things from it to like a sentence or so, because I did not want to read off this thing and have this over an hour or close to that much. I like these videos to be a little bit shorter. I mean, I can go for an hour, but I'm not going to do that. So they're going to be a little bit short. So let's get right into it. So the first one is Inji Todoroki, or also known as the Flame Hero Endeavor, is Shoto's father. Shoto's relationship with his father was on negative terms, as Endeavor only saw Shoto as a tool for surpassing All Might. Shoto despised his father for seeing him as nothing more than a tool and resented him for his abuse against him and his mother. That's why Shoto only used his ice side, because it is his mother's quirk. So the next one is Rei Todoroki. Unlike his father, Shoto's mother was kind, caring, and loving towards Shoto, and in return, Shoto loved her deeply. Shoto hated his father for constantly abusing his mother. Endeavor began to harshly train Shoto when he was only 5. Shoto's mother often intervened, trying to stop Endeavor's mad training methods, but failed. Shoto's mother supported Shoto in these dark times, telling him that it was okay for him to become a hero. So even though Endeavor was doing some very mad training methods and all this other stuff on Shoto, Shoto's mom still said, you can still become a hero the way you want to be. So just try at it and you can succeed. So there's that. Next is Fuyumi Todoroki. She is the older sister of Shoto, and she is also a teacher at an unnamed school. I didn't even know this fact until I looked it up. And then next is Natsuo Todoroki. He's a college student, and he's the younger brother of Toya and Fuyumi, and the older brother of Shoto. And finally, Toya Todoroki is the oldest son. In the past, Toya could be seen to play with his siblings, indicating he got on well with them. Nothing is known about his personality in the present, so we don't know who Toya Todoroki is, because he is not shown. A lot of speculations are saying that it is Davi. Davi is Toya Todoroki, and I hope that is true, because that would be pretty cool. I mean, obviously, sure, it's a simple trope. One of the villains is somebody's brother or family member or something like that. It makes perfect sense, though, for it being a hero type thing. It makes sense, though, that there would be some rivalry between some of the families. So it makes sense, though. And I really do hope that Dabi is Toya Todoroki. So there's that. I do believe in the Dabi is a Todoroki or Shoto's brother or anything like that. I hope it's true, because it makes a lot of sense why it wouldn't be. I have no idea, but there's that. Next we have Deku, and Shoto initially saw Deku as his arch rival due to him having connections with All Might, a person whom his father has a rivalry with. And then Shoto's intentions or interactions with Deku were of more of a serious nature, because this was back before he opened up, but not to the point of an antagonist type character. After Stain's defeat, though, Shoto becomes friendlier with Deku. So I mean, it makes sense, though, because they did team up to take down Stain. So it does make sense here and there, but yes, it's pretty obvious. Next is Katsuki Bakugo. Shoto and Bakugo have interacted a few times, such as in the obstacle race during the Sports Fest, where they had a brief scuffle for first place. And before they faced each other in the final match of the Sports Festival tournament event, Shoto appears to not be fond of Bakugo's aggressive personality and doesn't seem to see Bakugo as a rival. Now, if Bakugo knew that, he would be pissed because I think Bakugo pretty much sees almost anybody as any strong person as a rival. So Deku, well, he's a long life rival anyway, but Shoto, I guess Kirishima-ish, but like they're not like they're like friendly rivals. It's not as much as it would be for Kirishima, but whatever. Next is Tonya Eda. Shoto appears to be on good terms with Eda, respecting Eda for his incredible speed after their battle in the Sports Fest, which also he was on Team Todoroki, so there's that. Eda appears to also have respect for Shoto for having the behavior of a true hero, and they are first seen interacting with each other when Shoto shows Eda to join him on his team for the cavalry battle. And then after the Sports Fest, Shoto becomes increasingly worried about Ida's mental health when he heard that Tensei Ida's injuries from Stain. Obviously, a lot of people found out that Ida's brother was injured by the hero killer Stain, so that kind of, brought a few people closer together, and that was actually the same thing with, Shoto. Shoto understood Ida's hatred for Stain fully well, as he too knows the feeling of hating someone, and thus could relate with him. Deciding to help Eda overcome his bitterness, such as encouraging Eda to become the man he wants to be. After the battle against the hero killer, they are often seen together along with Deku, meaning they view each other as friends. Now, because of a lot of events that have happened in My Hero, there are a lot of groups coming together of different people. So like I said before, Bakugo, Kirishima, and Kaminari, and I guess Sero as well. And then you have Deku, Uraraka, Eda, Shoto. I mean, there's a lot of things that come out of some of the pair-ups that happen. So there's not really much that can be said after that, because there are a lot of friend groups and like cliques, I guess, that I'm a big fan of. So next is Momo Yaoyorozu. Now the thing is, Momo's thing is very long and all this other stuff, but if you guys do want to know Shoto's relationship with Momo, if you haven't watched that video already, then please go watch it, and I guess skip to the part where I talk about Shoto's relationship with Momo and all that, and I do talk about the ship between them two and how I'm for it and all that. So you guys can go check out Momo's video for that. Next is Stain. Shoto was disgusted with Stain's ideals of killing fake pro heroes in order to achieve justice, going so far as to tell Eda to pay no heed to him. Stain appears to respect Shoto's strength and selfless attitude to save his friends. So, not only was Shoto disgusted with Stain, he also told Eda to just ignore him, and Stain respected Shoto for that. So even though, Shoto's not a hero yet or anything like that, Stain, a hero killer, respected him. That's not something you can come by that often as well. And then finally we have All Might. Shoto was conceived and trained by his father for the sole purpose of surpassing All Might. However, while Shoto does express this desire, it does not appear to be as heavy as endeavors, or rather, Shoto's respects, or rather, Shoto respects and admires All Might, because when he was younger, he was inspired by All Might's words of an individual's quirk being their own, despite lineage, and wants to be a hero just like him. And Shoto once saved All Might from being killed by Nomu, and seems to have recognized that Deku has a connection to All Might as well. In return, All Might is amazed by Shoto's skills and seems to have noticed the boy's troubles and does his best to offer support to Shoto without prying too deeply into Shoto's personal issues. Now, because All Might and Endeavor have this little back and forth thing, it does kind of weigh a little bit more on All Might, because he doesn't want to pry into Shoto's personal issues. It makes sense, but it's gonna come around eventually. It's gonna come around, and he's just gonna talk to All Might, I'm pretty sure, or somebody. I don't know. And stuff's gonna be released. I know that. So that is it for, obviously, I do this every time, the written part, and now that we're already like 20 something minutes in, plus my intro and all that, so yeah. Alright, so Shoto Todoroki, my number one favorite character. Why is he my favorite? So for a lot of anime type things that deal with magic or powers or something like that, I've always, and video games as well, I've always liked ice type, especially with like Pokemon and stuff. I've liked ice type Pokemon and all that. So later my favoritism for ice types, kind of moved on to anime-ish. So Gray from Fairy Tail, he uses ice. I like Gray. There was this one guy, I forgot what his name was, but he was in Blood Battlefront Blockade or whatever, or the Japanese name Sin Sakai or Kekai or whatever, and he used ice powers, and he was pretty cool. I like Shoto. Well, I like Shoto for the ice part, and then when it was shown or told that he could use fire as well, I was like, okay, I can deal with that. Fire and ice, it's not a bad combo. I mean, look at it. Fire and ice, not bad. So yeah, now that I'm in an apartment, you will hear a lot of vehicles now. So there's gonna be a lot more noise in some of my videos sometimes. So yeah, my favorite thing is ice types. I like ice types. I've always liked them. Even with like magic games like Skyrim and all that, I would try to get some of the ice type moves, or like the ice arrows or something like that. Like I would try to get something that deals with ice. So I just like ice, really. That's why I like Shoto at first, and then when I found out that he could use fire as well, I was like, okay, not bad. But then like there is also another reason why I like Shoto, but I'm not gonna say it because I'll put it in its own video, because there are a lot of characters that I like that are somewhat similar to Shoto, so I will put that in its own video later on down the line of why I like these certain characters or whatever. That'll probably be like the title or something. So there's that. And yeah, I've already said that he was got into UA through recommendations and all that. So but he does have I'm looking at the thing here, he does have some similarities to, well, Zuko from the last Avatar, The Last Airbender, and I mean, sure, yeah, I like Zuko from Avatar, but I mean, I didn't really finish Avatar, so I didn't see the part where Zuko became good and was with Aang and all this other stuff. So like, I didn't really see that part of Zuko, but I saw like, the Fire Nation Zuko and all that. But whatever. So yeah, there are similarities, but that is only because of some circumstances and all that. But it makes sense because, well, they were both cold to the main protagonist at first, but then later they became friends with the protagonist. So it makes sense that they have similarities in that way, but also the similarities in that they both have fire abilities, and the burn scar on Yeah, it's his right eye, right? No, it's his left. Yeah, it's his left, because that's where the fire is. Yeah. So, yep. And apparently the kanjis of his name is Shoto is burning, and I think Todoroki is freezing. So his name is literally what his powers are. So that's a little fun fact there. And apparently Todoroki is a common Japanese surname. So that's pretty cool. Oh wait, no. Shoto's given name consists of the kanjis of burning and freezing. So yeah, his name Shoto is burning and freezing, and then Todoroki is a common Japanese surname. Okay, so there's that. So if you guys do want to see more of Shoto's personal stuff, they are obviously in the description. Because I only named off a few things, but there are a lot of other things here too, like popularity polls and stuff that he likes and some of this other stuff. Also, the My Hero Academia wiki page is, there's a link for that there, and then the listing of Shoto being my favorite character. So, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button, leave some comments down below. Also, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload a video. When I upload a video, I have no idea. It may be in a couple of weeks, it might not. I will be doing an apartment tour. But that'll be later on once I'm fully settled and, you know, I'm okay. All right. So yeah, you know, okay. So that is that. So I'm Trevor Plays. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Tell me pretty lies, look me in the face, tell me that you love me.